Hello, students. The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. This presentation is for BA Part 2, Paper First, that is, Poetry and Drama. I'm Dr. Sunita Jakar, Associate Professor in English, Government Arts College Sikar, affiliated to DDU University, Sikar, Rajasthan. The picture on the right side will give you an idea of the British Highlands and a countrywoman working in the farms. In 1803, Wordsworth toured the Scottish Highlands with his sister Dorothy. A hardcore nature lover was enchanted by the scenery and a solitary girl reaping and singing simultaneously. This poem is the result of his experience during his journey. It was composed in 1805 and published in 1807. On the right side, a portrait of Wordsworth by Benjamin Robert Hayden, courtesy National Portrait Gallery, UK. Wordsworth was born on 7th April 1770 and became the poet laureate in 1843. Till his death, that is 23rd April 1850. Wordsworth was an English romantic poet who, with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, launched the Romantic Age in English literature with their joint publication of lyrical ballads in 1798. Now let's discuss something about the poem. The Solitary Reaper is a 32 line long poem in four stanzas of an octave each, primarily written in iambic tetrameter. And the rhyme scheme is AB, AB, CC, DD. The form is ballad, and the tone is full of admiration and awe. Although Wordsworth could not understand the maiden's song, but he was dumbfounded by the melody of the song. The major themes are everlasting beauty and sorrow. The poem presents two things: the labor of that girl and the expression of sorrow. She is working and singing at the same time without being bothered about her surroundings. Now, let's come to the summary of the poem. The poet tells us about a girl, a Highland lass, who is in the field alone. As she is harvesting her crops, she is singing a sad tune which echoes in the deep valley. The speaker asks us to stop and listen to her tune or gently pass. Now, let's come to the text of the poem. Now, as you already know, the poem has four stanzas. Let's take each stanza one by one for analysis. I'll read the stanza and then explain the meaning in short. The first stanza: Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here, or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. So, in stanza 1, the poet looks at the Highland girl, solitary and working all by herself. The valley seems to be flooded with a mellifluous voice. He forbids to disturb in her singing. Now let's read the second stanza. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird. breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. So, this is the second stanza. The plaintive song is sweeter than a nightingale who comforts the weary travelers resting in the Arabian deserts. Even a cuckoo's voice in the silent seas near the Hebrides Islands at the coast of Scotland is inferior to the solitary reaper's song. Now let's come to the third stanza. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far off things and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today? Some natural sorrow, loss, or pain that has been and may be again. So, in the third stanza, the girl is singing in a native tongue that is Gaelic. The poet guesses that possibly she's singing of some old, unhappy, far off things or of some battles fought in ancient times. Now let's come to the fourth and the last part of the poem. The fourth stanza. Whatever the theme, the maiden sang as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work and over the sickle bending. I listened motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore long after it was heard no more. So, in the fourth stanza, the poet stood silent, listening to her music. Then he climbed up the hill and could no longer hear the music. Still, in his heart, he heard that music long after his ears were unable to hear it. So, I have analyzed all the four stanzas of the poem. So, let's come to the last part of the presentation, and it is mandatory to thank all the resources I have used for the presentation, and I have mentioned the source, the online resources without which I could not have made the presentation. Thank you, students, for staying with me till the end.